Hey guys, Fire here from InDepth Gaming, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Time Loader. Time Loader is developed by Phlasm, published by Meta Publishing, and releases on March 10th, 2022 for a price of $14.99. What is Time Loader? It's a puzzle platforming game that will throw anybody that grew up in gaming in the 80s and 90s back into a full nostalgia trip. It's puzzles based off of basically houses, parts of your house, kitchen, bedrooms, dining rooms, everything in between, with a little bit of jumping around over the years with kind of flashback stories as you play as this guy who's trying to go back in time to do some things that impact some stuff, time travel type cool things that I don't want to ruin too much of the story, but will allow you to use a little robot that you've sent back that's almost like a kind of like little like Mars rover type little guy. Two wheels, can go either direction, flips, jumps, grabs on hooks, things, and swings, and uses all kinds of modern time period type things such as darts you throw to hit targets and trigger puzzles, little traps, all kinds of little knickknacks and things. As you can see here, this is our little robot guy. And you kind of control him, and it's very fluid and really fun to play. He kind of moves back and forth with your analog stick. He's kind of bipedal. You can pick up different things. As you play, you'll be able to throw them. And you basically have to do all these little actions with your guy to try and solve whatever puzzles that you're doing. When you are playing, it's going to get a little interesting. You might struggle at first trying to figure out some of the little base controls, but the game gets very easy to navigate and handle with once you actually start playing. Your little robot guy can navigate pretty much all kinds of terrain. The physics in this game work very well. Things that you think should work one way really do work that specific way. And it's pretty kind of cool how almost like perfect they've gotten this game to work in a sense of how things actually would be functioning in those periods. Now, right now we're playing at the very beginning of the game, so you're going to see him kind of use his little time travel machine to send the robot back in time to do some cool little things. But what's cool as you play along, you're going to get a lot of dynamic environments. Whether it's days, nights, I believe you go a little indoor, outdoor, but it's all things that are going to really make you feel like, especially if you were born in the 80s and 90s, like you're just a little kid again, and you just went over to like your aunt or uncle's house and they're showing you a cool little robot. Everything looks so period correct that it's honestly like one of the greatest nostalgia trips for a game that I've played so far this year. Down to like crazy wild lava lamps and all kinds of just weird gizmo-y things that you deal with. It's just a lot of fun. And it's definitely a game that is different in a sense of the puzzle genre of games that we've been kind of used to hitting onto the platform. There's not been too many things that are really different, and this is definitely a game that hits that kind of niche of different and does different in a very good way. What I do like is that the game doesn't really need to explain how to complete the puzzles. Everything is extremely straightforward, and you're going to be able to really just find and navigate your way without having to like look up anything. I don't think too many people are going to need guides, and I think the game's going to be extremely straightforward for anybody who's playing. There's going to be opportunities to find little collectibles, and there's things throughout the game that some of the achievements are more related to. But for the most part, you're just going to be going through, getting from one end to the other, completing a little task for that said level, and trying to get your guy through the best routes and pathways that you can. What I really do enjoy about this game a lot is just the ease of use when you're playing. Nothing is overly challenging. The controls are super simple. Use your analog sticks, play, and rinse and repeat. And then you're just going to have to figure out how to get around. Um, and that's kind of the main premise of Time Loader. A lot of the levels are just going to be the same kind of mechanic system. How do you do things going one way? How do you find the most advantageous pathways? What's going to work for you? And just figuring out how a lot of the physics are really done in this game. It's a very physics-based puzzle game, and And for me, that's definitely something that I really like about this game. As far as like the visuals and everything, like I think I've talked enough about how it looks to kind of have shared my opinion of the visuals in this game. The soundtrack, I love the audio and all the other cues that kind of go with the game. The music kind of helps engage you into the game. I know you can't really hear it too much here on this video. Let's see, I might crank it up a smidge. But it kind of just gives you that like flashbacky vibe, man, I'm back in time kind of feel. And it just works. It works really well, and that's something that to me just the little things in a game add up a lot and really help sell them and make them a really fun experience. I'd say overall, as far as the game's like lengthwise and longevity, it's not an insanely long game. I'd say a couple hours at best for the average gamer to run through this game. And I know there's already guides from this game on other platforms, so if you are stuck anywhere, you can find resources online to kind of give you a hand and help you out there. But nonetheless, it's nothing that's going to be too impossible, especially for anybody who's just kind of stepping into that puzzle genre of games and hasn't really been familiar with them in the past. I think this game is definitely a good pickup, coming in at a $15 price point. If I have to give an opinion, whether buy, sell, pass, or whatnot, I'm definitely going to recommend you pick up this game. I think it's definitely worth it. It's a fun change of pace with the types of puzzle games we've experienced on the platform as of recent, and that's a good thing. Too much of the same thing can get really boring and old, and I definitely think the average gamer will really enjoy playing this game. Overall, though, if you do want to see more gameplays, have questions, stuck on anything, please let me know down in the comments. Happy to help out. Let me know what you think of this game. If you enjoyed the review, I'd love to hear if you picked it up, how your experience is with the game. But yeah, outside of that, guys, we'll catch you next time. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and we will catch you next time. I will try to throw this car over here. Cool, we did it. We'll play a little bit more. I'm going to crank up the volume so you can kind of hear the game a little bit, and then we'll wrap it up.
Great. The car is inside the disposal unit. We just gotta turn it on. Excellent. That should rewrite Adam's future. Running the divergence analysis.